Some movies shouldn't exist. Let's pretend they do. I'm Peter Hunter.
I'm Desmond Ports.
And I'm Scott Henshaw, and welcome to the Prequel, Sequel, Remake podcast. Halloween time, one of these episodes. Whoa! Things are getting real scary up in. Oh, you know what? We didn't do the Halloween names intro.
Oh.
Some movies shouldn't exist. Let's pretend they do. I'm Peter Hunter.
I'm Desmond Corpse.
And I am Scott Hangs You.
And welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Remake, the movie and comedy podcast where we do what, Scott Henshaw?
Well, we make prequels and sequels and remakes, one of each actually, every episode, and it's for the movies that don't have them and probably should not. But we're going to do it anyway because fuck it.
Yep. Kicking off the Halloween season. You know, this is the only podcast spookier than that dog in the Goosebumps intro with the green eyes.
Ooh.
Still can't sleep properly.
Can't sleep. I just think
about
that
the shifty-eyed dog.
Floating Goosebumps G fucking...
Yeah, what's
floating through neighborhoods.
that pretty metal theme song?
That's the theme song. Badass.
It's a great theme song. With the dog synth. Oh my gosh.
Cut out us doing that. It always bothered me how many like original like manuscripts R.L. Stein is losing there.
They're just flying out of the briefcase. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you want to, are those published works? Or?
Nope, that's all. It's
gone.
It's all on the up and up.
Yeah. But anyway, what are we here to do today, boys?
Yeah.
We discuss fine art.
Yes.
First and foremost.
Because this podcast is fine art.
Really got to nail that home. We can't hit that point enough that this is a fine art podcast. First and foremost, nothing in my life is as important as the acceptance in the fine art community.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone would add to that.
Sorry.
I was just enthralled because I agree so hard, and it's so true that we take. We're like the equivalent of like when you're in like an art class and they put like some fruit in some like spherical or conical objects like on a thing. You're supposed to like do an accurate still life. We're like that, but times a million.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Can you count to a million?
Art. Try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm bored.
Yeah.
He's only joking, folks. But for real. It's times a million.
Yeah, times a million. And what are we times a million-ing?
Well, to bring in the spooky season, let's take it back about a decade to a Halloween classic. Halloween horror comedy classic, Shaun of the Dead, and you knew that because you clicked on this.
You already knew it.
So
we're contextualizing.
Let's stop being fucking coy.
Yeah, and dive right in. Shaun of the Dead.
2004. Director Edgar Wright. Starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Kate Ashfield, and others. But, who cares?
Yeah.
Bill Nighy.
Yeah.
Who's great, too.
Yeah.
I should have put that down. So, short synopsis. After being dumped by his girlfriend Liz, Kate Ashfield, Shaun, Simon Pegg, is tasked with saving his best friend, Simon Pegg.
I did write it twice. Nick Frost. Nick Frost.
It could be argued.
Mother.
He's his own best friend.
Penelope Winton. Stepfather, Bill Nighy. Is that how you say it? Niggy?
No, I think it's Nighy.
Nighy?
I'm almost positive it's Nighy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He is.
And more. From a zombie outbreak in this quiet London town, hijinks ensue, references are made, and everything is generally pretty awesome. Yeah. That's
true.
Well described.
And I always really worry going back on comedy movies. I didn't really, but this one I was like, nah, it's still going to be good. And it was. It held up.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. And I'm very happy for that because it's, those guys put it together. Solid. They got solid, cool little editing gags here and there. Their kind of signature thing.
Oh, he's such a visual
dry, witty style. It's just fun, good time.
Yeah.
Plus zombies.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw this, like, I saw it at, like, a party, and it was, like, me and, like, 8 other friends, and I was the only one laughing at the movie, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people?
Maybe they're not really your friends.
I mean, I don't talk to any of them anymore.
Well, I mean,
So,
the proof's in the pudding, and the pudding is in the fridge.
and pudding is bread in England.
The pudding in the fridge is for future Scott only. So don't get any ideas.
Oh, future Peter's watching his sugar, so he doesn't want that pudding anyway. So future Scott and future Peter would get along just fine.
Tapioca in the freezer
Future
for
Peter's
later.
watching the sugar.
Oh my God.
Well,
We're getting up there.
we all getting up there.
Gotta take Got enough roughage today.
No, gotta get a little more.
Gotta stay regular.
Gotta keep.
So instead of talking about bowel movements,
I saw this movie in theaters.
Did you?
Yeah, because did this come out around the time as the Dawn of the Dead remake?
the year after.
The year after?
Yeah, it was
It
that.
had
I
to have
think that
been.
was
And on the
2003,
cusp
and
of
this
that.
was 2004.
So this is like a
whole zombie craze.
Right.
Just
Or
kinda
reemergence.
happened.
with 28 days later,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
which that's an awesome movie too. But
It's-
I definitely I credit this movie and the Dawn of the Dead remake for really getting me into zombies. I really didn't grow up watching the classic Romero ones. I didn't see those till later. Love them, absolutely. But it was a double whammy for me with Shaun of the Dead because it was kind of my introduction to zombie films and kind of British humor. My British
really.
humor sense. Didn't grow up really watching Monty Python or anything. My British entertainment was Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean and Thomas
Gotta
the
love-
Tank Engine.
Yeah, I guess that counts.
you guys like the Raiders?
The fucking Raiders. You like the Raiders?
Yo, bro. You like the Raiders?
Yeah, but you were saying British humor.
And man, there's something about it, especially the way Edgar Wright does it, because he's like he was a younger dude at the time. He wasn't an old crotchety fuck like the Monty Python guys. And it was like this young life breathed into British humor, and you're saying with the fast editing, he's really a visual storyteller. There's so much fun to be had just viewing the whole thing. But yeah, I got a lot of love for this movie. It's infinitely funny.
Yeah.
The interplay between Ed and Shaun. Liz's general disdain for Ed.
Yeah.
But not necessarily disdain, kind of he's a loser. You're not your best self hanging out with him all the time.
Yeah, he brings out your worst tendencies. You love him, but he brings out the worst in you. And ultimately, he has to let go of that to grow as a person.
Yeah. They provide, they give you the real world stakes in a zombie movie, which is great because so often they just kind of trail off into, oh, well, now it's just all about survival and, and
about shooting.
Yeah, shooting.
It's never about getting someone.
Shooting.
It's rarely about getting someone their insulin. It's about it's about fucking getting the guns.
Yeah. Well, in Con Air, they get insulin and the guns.
Give them the guns. Give them all the guns.
I'll say one of the things I really like about this movie is it gets better every time you watch it because a lot of the humor is self-referential. I'd say the majority of the humor is self-referential. They'll establish something early and they'll reference it later in the movie. That happens, when they talk about the barkeeper, the owner and his wife, and then that comes up at the end when there's zombies in the bar.
So good.
Leave Him Alone, with Pete, is used a few times. They play House of the Dead on Xbox or some crap that the game wasn't on.
Are they playing House of the Dead?
It's House of the Dead at the beginning, Halo at the end.
No. It's Time Splitters at the end.
Oh, is it Time Splitters?
Time Splitters 2 at the end.
Oh, that's
for sure.
better. That game's better than Halo, so that's awesome.
In many ways, it is.
Is there some kind of rule in cinema, and we probably talked about this already, but rule in cinema where if you're showing a video game, you have to show it being played the absolutely wrongest way possible? He's got a GameCube controller and that guy's got a PlayStation, and whoa!
Very good question, Scott. And yes, you are absolutely correct.
It's kind of like you can't show someone exhaling a bong hit or something like that.
Yeah.
Can't show video games right. Just can't do it.
Grandma's Boy's the worst. It's they have him developing a game in real time on an Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm just working on my game I'm making.
Well,
and I'm thinking about it might be a legal thing, right? Legal representation. It's oh no, we were only simulating, Nintendo or PlayStation.
I think it's just laziness.
You were going to say something about a dev kit.
Yeah, I was going to say something about a dev kit, but it isn't a dev kit. A dev kit would be a giant hulking thing.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. For those who don't know, it's a version of the console where you can test developed builds of the game. That's what a dev kit is. Yeah.
But general plot, should we go into it? I mean,
yeah, sure. I mean, basically, like, it starts, Shaun is dating this girl, Liz. They're, like, kind of going through, like, they're, like, at that point in the relationship, they've been together for a long time, starting to get, through the doldrums, doing the same stuff all the time.
2 years, she hasn't met his mom.
Yeah, exactly. Hasn't met the mom yet, like, needs to take the next step. And Shaun is really complacent. He's in his late 20s. He's a middle manager at an electronics store. He still lives, with 2 other guys. Like,
total pushover, and that dude's just using his phone. He's like, in a minute, I'm using my phone. It's like, you fucking hand that phone over.
Yeah, and that kid is a zombie at the end, pushing shopping carts. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that the zombie thing starts way earlier than it is recognized by the main character.
That is great.
And I love that sort of like, dumb humor, but it's so obvious, obvious to the audience, but it's still done and it's tasteful.
Watching a man devour pigeans.
Exactly.
And Shaun's like, wait, what? He notices it, but then he gets like zapped out of it in his real life.
Does at the electronics store, thinking like a car goes by. So he's like got this big like anniversary dinner with Liz, or it's just is it an anniversary or is it just a special occasion? Like they were supposed to go somewhere else.
I want to say it's an anniversary, man.
Yeah, I might have slipped on that one detail.
But she doesn't want to go to his local pub. She wants to go someplace nice. And how does he fuck it up?
He like the night before he like stays up all night like drinking and like hanging out. No, he does it after he gets done.
He does it after it.
I think he just forgot.
He just forgot. Yeah, because he's a mess up. He's not
doing too well.
He's not doing too well. He gets dumped. He spends the next night like getting super like drunk and like playing electro music on like on like record players all night with Ed, and then wake up the next morning and
roommate gets super pissed off.
Yeah, he does.
The roommate
Darth
played
Maul.
by
wow.
Yeah,
that's Darth Maul.
Only in voice. Only the voice.
Yeah, but
weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Peter.
I don't remember Darth Maul talking.
Yeah, I know.
He had like 8 lines.
Scott.
Yeah.
Fucking.
We're not gonna.
Let's
not rehash Darth Maul being over advertised and only having like 8 lines in the movie.
Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah,
I can't.
Peter.
He's funny.
Yeah, he is very funny. He is really good.
He's kind of the character who just points out a lot of the major obstacles and flaws that Shaun will eventually have to overcome. And so the following day, once they figure out that there are zombies, and they have to try and figure out what to do, they come up with a plan to first go get Shaun's mom, and then also to get his girlfriend back, and then go to the pub.
And of course, wait for this whole thing to blow.
Yeah, wait for all to blow.
That's also one of my favorite aspects of the movie. That the replay of that idea, where it's like, that's pretty on par with what I would. Right. Go back to the pub and chill out. And once they get to the pub, they're just drinking like warm beer, eating peanuts, and just like really unceremonious. It's really boring for like a second there once they arrive to the destination. Until you get that brilliant choreographed fight scene when the zombies bust down the door to "Don't Stop Me Now."
That's one of the best scenes in the movie, I'd say.
And then magically, while the mom who had been hiding her zombie bite is like going and turning into a zombie, the zombies are just like also like we'll chill on breaking down the door for a minute, for like
this moment.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
like let you have your time.
They're like not very pushy zombies, and maybe it's because they're British. I don't know.
Oh man, the other couple. I'm blanking on their names. But man, those
Sarah
are
and
Harry Potter.
He does look like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Sarah. I think it's Sarah. Maybe
those are some heavy accents, man. Those are some thick British accents. I could not understand them in many parts.
I guess I would just watch a lot of British stuff, so it's not that bad.
I don't mean that as any sort of like.
No, definitely not. They definitely have accents.
There's all sorts of regional accents. Just like here,
it's David and Diane.
Diane, Jesus.
Yeah.
David gets massacred.
Oh my God,
fucking horrifying.
It's awesome.
Obviously, the big thing there was that he was in love with Shaun's ex-girlfriend, who becomes his girlfriend again.
It's a really great moment.
Yeah,
and he's flipping out and saying, "Steps down. I'm so sorry, Shaun." fucking
he gets eaten alive.
He was standing right by this window full of zombie arms, and you fucking were asking for it, dude.
Yeah, now
everybody was thinking it was going to happen, and then it did.
It did.
Lots of great lines, you know. I always loved fuck-a-doodle-doo. I still say that in my day-to-day. It's pretty great. And I think we've gone through most of it, but I do like Ed's fate. Lovely.
There is a moment when they're sneaking around and getting on their way to the tavern where they run into a group of people that look exactly like them.
And it's led by Simon Pegg's co-star from Spaced.
I forget.
Edgar Wright's TV show.
Yeah. And her name's Yvonne because they're like parallel but different.
Yeah.
But weren't
Yvonne and Shaun.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't each one of them all like part of their own duo of lookalikes, or was it just the one? I don't know.
No, it was a whole group of
the whole group.
They're all just like almost approximations of them.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. Oh,
they're like, all right, well, you know, don't join forces or anything.
I think that's about around that time is where we get the first like fence gag of the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, which you know, this is part of a trilogy, the Cornetto films, featuring Hot Fuzz and The World's End. All great, but I won't go into them, but great kickoff to it.
All applicable for prequel, sequel, remake, by the way.
So this movie, right, very much so. And they're all special in their own right, but just so I could say it and point it out, before we get to those eventually, the color of this movie is red.
Yes. The red cornetto.
The red cornetto.
Yeah. Shaun eats one early.
Which are just drumsticks here, right?
And that's where like you've got red on you and all that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And the red tie and stuff,
But Ed being turned into a zombie and at the end and being kept in the shed is just like such a fun last scene. You know? It's not all happy ending.
With more Queen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, the whole thing does, at the very last moment, blow over, and the police come in and they blow all the zombies away, and
very unceremoniously.
It's just like, oh hey, well, it's like, you know, that runtime, you know,
you gotta
wrap it up.
I think it's a nice 90 minutes too.
It's Edgar Wright. Overall, he's like incredibly efficient as a filmmaker. Like every frame is somewhat meaningful, or like it contains imagery that's relevant to later in the film. Like that's why his movies are so rewatchable, is you just notice thing after thing after thing. There's actually a special feature on the Scott Pilgrim Blu-ray where like they'll point out like how like references to everything, like little pop-ups will come up on screen.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Scott Pilgrim's awesome.
Scott Pilgrim is
not
awesome.
Not to put it in tears, but just man, the Cornetto movies in terms of my Edgar Wright fix, nothing ever reaches those heights. The cast, but man, him segueing into an American. I don't think it's even an American film. I think it's like Canadian. Whatever. Scott Pilgrim's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's on Netflix right now. Go watch it.
Hell yeah.
That's another one of those movies that I can have on at any moment in time and just be like, yep, into it. Great. Keep it going.
Yeah, I'll forever be upset we never got to see his Ant-Man movie. But Baby Driver apparently is really awesome. I haven't seen it.
Baby Driver's pretty damn good.
Is Kevin Spacey in that?
Yeah, he is. But
all right, I'll just have to ignore. That's unfortunate, but
he's not.
The produce alone.
It was worth it.
Produce alone.
Yeah, the produce alone K-Pax.
Jamie Foxx fucking rules in it. Jamie Foxx and John Hamm. I know you like Ham.
I do like.
Yeah, John Hamm is
is great.
Maniac in that movie. It was a very entertaining movie. But no, about Baby Driver, because
we're not talking about that.
Shoot ourselves in the foot. I don't know. Obviously, I think we'd all recommend Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
and you're fucking daft if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
yet.
go.
Bloody hell.
Like I would say like this is up there with like the best all-time like zombie movies and the best like horror comedies for sure. Like you'd put that up there with like Cabin in the Woods, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale
is an awesome movie.
Great, and I forgot about it until you just brought it up.
Thank
you.
It's pretty sweet.
Fantastic.
Dude,
Dead Snow. Dead Snow is another amazing horror comedy.
Not familiar.
Yeah. It's a Nazi zombie movie done in German. It's great.
I'll say it right here. I think Shaun of the Dead's better than fucking Evil Dead or whatever.
Maybe.
Are you talking about like all the Bruce Campbell ones, or are you talking about like the reboot?
I'm talking about the
originals.
I mean, all Bruce Campbell's in all of them,
except the reboot.
I don't think he's in the first one.
No, he is.
The very first Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
okay.
He's 100% in it, yeah.
I mean, I love Evil Dead. I'm just saying in terms of horror comedy.
This is Evil Dead 2 has really funny moments, but I mean, Shaun of the Dead is a funnier movie.
Showing Evil Dead 2 to someone who like thinks it's like, they've heard Evil Dead their whole life and knows zombies and chainsaw, and then you show it to them, they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's like
pretty
fighting
great.
his own hand and like stabbing it all in a call to arms.
Yeah,
it's schlocky in its own different way.
Yeah.
That's fun, but yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, it's no Spider-Man 3, but
No, it's no Spider-Man.
never
Yeah.
wound, but you can't kill.
Yeah,
Well,
as long
Desmond,
as
you'd
we're-
recommend it.
I'd recommend Spider-Man 3, and I definitely recommend.
No!
Definitely. Shut
Don't
up!
watch.
Shut up, both of you.
We were at a party recently and someone said they love Spider-Man 3 and I had to hold
Who
back.
the fuck said that?
What are your friends?
Okay,
Let's
don't fucking say that derogatorily like that. For number one.
He's my friend too.
You're my friend. Number
I just
two.
wanted to say it that
I know
way.
exactly who said that, and I vaguely remember we all jumped on that person's throat.
Yeah,
But it doesn't matter. It's neither here
No,
nor there.
it's
We're not
not.
talking about Spider-Man 3. We're talking about Shaun of the Dead, boys.
Yeah. Great.
And it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
You don't necessarily have to gush any further about it. I mean,
Let's get
more
into the
than
meat of the
anything,
show.
yeah, let's just get into the cold hard meat.
Hey, don't get too scared.
Because it's
Way to stick the landing, Des.
it's going to be real scary from here on out. So,
We're gonna set that up and carry through with that spooky theme through the entire conversation, and then bring it back around at the end here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it's going to be terrifying. You're going to be so scared. Don't even worry about it. Get a blanket, get your num-nums, and get your little bottle of candy. You're going to be... You're gonna, yeah, it's sugar, all right.
All right, well, Scott. Scott, you know what is scary? Not supporting your favorite podcast.
Wow.
I know.
I'm terrified even thinking about the idea of not supporting your favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Peter, is there some way?
Well, no. Nah, there is.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Terrified me for a second.
That's a joke.
I was horrified.
Oh, they're staring at me.
I was very scared.
I'm sorry.
It's October. Things are turning orange.
It's terrifying. Yeah, pumpkin spice all the way. Not really. It's fine. But yeah, if you want to support the show, you can go to anchor.fm/prequel-sequel-remake, become a listener supporter. It's kind of like a Patreon. You'll give us a monthly donation, and it's at anywhere from $1 to $10. Really helps keep the show going. If you're not up for that, prequel-sequel-remake.com, there's a big donate button right there. You can just directly give us any sum of money at any time. It could be $0.1. It could be $0.2.
Just think about this way, like how many fun-sized candy bars, per hour should you spend that money on us instead? I think the answer is yes, obviously. And it doesn't even have to be fun size. It could be regular sized candy bars. It's only a couple of dollars. And you were just going to throw it away on the candy bar. Don't do that. Give it to us instead.
Watch out for the sicko who's giving out full-size candy bars at Halloween. Yeah. Look out for that.
They're compensating for something.
Absolutely.
But you know what, Scott?
Skeletons in the closet, literally.
If you
Wife's
want
skeleton in the closet.
Oh, jeez.
Is it a chocolate skeleton that's just like graham cracker bones?
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Simpsons gag.
You got a candy apple.
Whoa! Well, if you wanted to buy some chocolate-covered graham cracker and support the show, go to prequel-sequel-remake.com. There's a button right there that it says support. You press it, it'll take you to Amazon.com. If you buy anything that trip, we get a little kickback.
And you should definitely do this because you're buying things online. And so why
I bought
wouldn't
things
you
earlier.
Just
today.
use the affiliate link that we provide. It costs nothing. It's just a little extra step. And it's a little tasty treat in your inbox.
I bought a pair of gym shorts that I know are going to be too small already.
Now, well, you're going to have to return them and then buy them again. Double kickback.
This just keeps getting more and more interesting as I go on.
Boom.
But yeah, if I understand, I don't want to harp on the money thing. It doesn't cost that much to make the podcast happen, but it does cost something, and we appreciate any support we get. Even if it's just following us on our social media or leaving us a rating or review on iTunes, all of it's gravy to us, and we're so grateful for every listener we have.
Thank you so much.
And thank you from me also. I also said thank you.
Yes.
All right, now we're just
stuck the landing.
talking stickles.
That's the theme for tonight. You stick that landing.
Before we get into the meat of the show, there was one question that Peter posed that I think is ripe for discussion. Is this the greatest zombie movie ever made?
I think it's up there. I don't think it is. Just if only because in the last 10 years there have been so many really, 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 really good zombie movies.
I'd say the most recent one that I think is excellent, because I did kind of tire of zombie movies for a while, is Train to Busan.
Hell yeah, Train to Busan.
Fucking check that one out.
That movie is awesome.
They really did it up, and it also works in a way where it's I mean, it is a zombie movie, but it's also about class, and there's like so many visual metaphors,
family relationships. Yeah. It's amazing. Like
it's damn good.
You'll never cry while hearing the song "Aloha Oi" sung by a child as much as you will.
Okay.
In this movie,
no spoilers. I haven't seen it, but
that doesn't spoil anything.
That'll get you right in the October mood.
I know it's not the greatest. It's up there. It definitely is a contender. For me, it's 28 Days Later. I love that movie. That movie scares the motherfucking shit out of me. And before you smartasses write in and tell me they're infected, not zombies.
Whatever.
Shut up.
It's a zombie movie. It's a zombie movie.
Of course it's a zombie movie.
It's a zombie movie.
No,
whatever.
it's an infected movie. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, every zombie movie has different rules.
All zombies are infected with the zombie virus. Case closed. End of discussion.
Well done, Scott.
And like, Zombieland would be charming if it weren't for fucking horrible, like, dated effects.
Oh, it's
like, it was a budget movie at the time, but
I had
like,
to turn that one off.
No,
bad CGI blood and
I didn't. Well, granted, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the writing really didn't grab me. I was like,
well, there's that aspect too. I haven't seen it in a while. I can't comment. I don't really.
Yeah. It's fine. It has moments. I would never watch it again.
Selling me on it.
But if it was on, I'd be like, like if I'd watch the Bill Murray part.
Yeah, if it was on and I was allegedly, just packing bowl after bowl.
Alleged, full of cereal.
Cereal.
Alleged.
Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I seem to recall a story about Woody Harrelson like punching a guy during production of that
sounds
movie.
right.
And fucking just saying like, oh, I'm filming a zombie movie. I'm super amped.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get amped for our prequels, sequels, and remakes. Just put a code on that with Woody Harrelson punching a guy.
How are we going to match that level of intensity?
Well, I'm about to find out because I handled the prequel this week.
Oh!
Yeah, I know. We're going to skip the whole song and dance.
So, Peter, let's see, or rather, hear this prequel.
I mean, you'll see, but no one else will.
It's true.
It's just for us. Title: Shaun and Ed break some heads. Tagline: head to theaters this June. Alternate tagline: now they've really got some red on them. Directed by Wedger Bright, an obvious pseudonym for Martin Scorsese.
Forget about it.
Oh man, that was the dumbest joke. I'm so happy I got that. Synopsis: morning. Shaun is fucking hung over. He's so fucking hung over. The worst hangover in your life? That doesn't have anything on the hangover Shaun has right now. He looks at his right hand and it's bloodied and bandaged. He looks at his left and the phone number for someone named Selena is scrawled on it with one digit too few. Shaun manages to crawl out of bed and just barely make it downstairs and sees Ed is performing step aerobics, like it's his freaking job. Shaun looks on in utter disbelief as his portly roomie gets his workout on. Ed wishes Shaun a good morning and kindly asks if he remembers anything that happened last night. Shaun closes his eyes and thinks. He remembers going to the Winchester with Ed after he and Liz had yet another stupid squabble. He remembers downing some dozen-odd pints, and that's about all he remembers. Unfortunately for Shaun, Ed doesn't remember anything either. Lucky for him, he spent the wee hours of the morning vomiting, so he's not hungover at all. It's true, guys. If you're gonna cross the bridge into throw-up territory, just throw up. Just feel better.
The night before.
Yeah, the night before. You'll feel better.
There's times where I woke up the next morning and like,
I'm glad I did that.
I really wish I've never I don't think I've ever preemptively vomited.
No. But I've definitely been at the point where like I feel like I'm going to vomit and I think I'm just going to let it happen because you can fight it.
Yeah, everyone is loving this time.
Sorry.
I mean, I do. That's me.
I apologize to reminding our listeners about vomit. Anyways,
we're getting all the bodily functions in this cast. You guys are scary. Spook town.
Okay, so Ed's not hungover at all. There's only one course of action. Shaun and Ed look at each other dead seriously. Cut to a montage in that super cool close-up quick cut style Edgar Wright does when people get ready for things. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Shaun and Ed spend 12 hours playing House of the Dead and then return to the Winchester that evening to figure out what happened on the previous night. They arrive and are stunned at what they see. The windows are smashed in. The taps are all broken. The jukebox is working fine. Shaun and Ed rush in but cannot hide their abject horror. Who could do such a thing to such a pure place? The owner and his wife call the two friends to the bar. They fill them in on what happened the night before. After Ed and Shaun were approximately 6.5 pints deep, a group of soccer hooligans showed up at the Winchester. Noticing they were wearing the opposing club's colors, Ed immediately started talking shit to them. Shaun intervened and decided there was only one civil way to settle this: drinking games. Cut to a lively montage set to tub thumping, where all sorts of drinking games are played. Beer pong, boat races, beer basketball, beer pool, beer swimming pool, beer football, and beer soccer, not to mention beer.
That's the best one out of all of them.
That's such a Homer Simpson
game.
That's such a Homer Simpson joke. After Shaun and Ed thoroughly defeat the hooligans, defeat the hooligans at all feats of drinking, the hooligans run afoul, as hooligans do. They attack the two friends and start trashing the Winchester. The owners called the police, but they drove off before they could arrive. Shaun and Ed are furious. Not only at the destruction of their favorite bar, but also because they don't remember their complete and utter victory in all sorts of drinking games. The owner says the lead hooligan was a, quote, bird named Selena. He also gives him major crap for getting another girl's number while still dating Liz. The revelation stirs something in Ed. It wasn't a phone number, it was a license plate number. Ed has a photographic memory, I decided, and when they drove off, he scrawled the license plate number on Shaun's hand. This is their chance. Shaun dials up Liz, who works at the driver and vehicle licensing agency in London, and explains the situation. That's the DMV. They call it DMV in the UK.
It always blows me away. Like, it's not called DMV in, like, Texas, right?
Is it?
It's like not.
Is that a thing?
I want to, or Albuquerque or something.
Yeah.
Not Albuquerque.
I have friends who live in Texas.
New Mexico. I just watched Better Call Saul.
Nice.
ABQ.
Liz looks up the plate number and tells Shaun that it belongs to a man named Joshua Michael, and that the address is a spot not too far from the Winchester. Before Liz can warn Shaun that they should wait for the proper authorities, he hangs up the phone. Another cool Edgar Wright getting ready montage. The two don helmets, grab cricket bats, and pump up their Reebok pumps. Just as the music cuts out. Comedic timing, folks. Ed and Shaun storm off to the location on a tandem bike because it's a funny-ass image, okay?
Hell yeah, it is.
While en route, they make references to obscure British pop culture just for the UK crowd because they know where their bread is buttered. They also stop and share a sundae at an ice cream shop. That's shop with 2 P's and an E. It's pretty adorable. The tandem bike arrives at the address. Ed asks Shaun if he's sure it's the right place. He double checks. They were expecting a flat or even a house, but they were not expecting a fish cannery, which is where they can fish.
Really now.
Okay. Ed wants to go in through the front door, but Shaun spots a nearby fire escape and insists that they use that. Everyone uses the front door. They won't expect them to use the fire escape. One for dramatics, Ed agrees. The two climb the fire escape, and an incredibly loud alarm goes off the second they open the door. Kind of like how all emergency exits work. Their cover totally blown. Ed starts screaming quotes from Die Hard into the cannery below, but stops the second he looks down and sees what's happening. The soccer hooligans are there, of course. Shaun and Ed accounted for that. What they had not accounted for was that 40-some-odd armed mercenaries and the pounds upon pounds of what appeared to be uncut opium on the floor in between them. It turns out that folks that will ransack a bar at the drop of the hat aren't the most savory individuals. Shaun tries to smooth talk his way out of the situation, complimenting the gang's excellent organization, as well as the obscenely large opium pile. They're not amused. The gang starts firing at Shaun and Ed, who duck behind some barrels and crates, warehouse stuff.
Yeah.
The hooligans bolt up the stairs toward them. Ed and Shaun put up their dukes, but the hooligans kick the crap out of them. Shaun's wondering what's wrong. They were able to stand their ground last night. Ed knows what to do. He pulls out a full bottle of whiskey from his back pocket and downs a quarter of it. Shaun asks Ed what the hell he's doing, but just then, Ed blocks an incoming punch with his left hand and forces the hooligan backward down the stairs. Ed hands Shaun the bottle. They can only fight when they're drunk. Shaun downs the rest of the bottle, and the two friends get in their best drunken boxing stance. 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey for the folks keeping score at home. It's like, yeah, just chug whole bottles of it. That's healthy. Yeah.
It's like you can die from drinking too much, folks.
Yeah. No, I'm not endorsing
Very easily.
It's a
I know.
fictional movie. Fiction.
When you hear about some people, like people's drinking games, in their youth, it's just like, what the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, Scott.
Why?
Desmond.
Yeah.
Allegedly. A hooligan leaps from behind Ed and puts him in a headlock, but Shaun is able to reverse bicycle kick him in the face. It's a bicycle kick going the other way. It's pretty badass. Another hooligan slides in between Shaun's leg and punches him squarely in the testicles. Ed responds by curb stomping the dude and caving his teeth in. The two high-five and make another Die Hard reference or something.
It's exactly what you described happening to Daffy Duck way back in Space Jam.
He does.
I think there's a certain fatality that you're a fan of.
This is Peter's finishing move.
American Peter X.
Oh, no.
Why? Meanwhile, Selena and the other hooligans have betrayed the gangsters. They lay dead on the floor, bleeding into the pile of opium. Selena complains that they've bled all over a couple $1,000, which is British for some amount of money. Some amount of money.
With me just like making fun of the accents, we're sounding more and more ignorant towards our British.
It's funny, I have like a lot of British friends and I watch a lot of British TV, but I've never asked like, how much is a quid? Is it just $1 or £1 or I don't know. I don't know.
Some fraction therein.
Someone enlighten me. I'm not going to enlighten myself.
Quick offshoot. I hate to.
Yeah,
but does anyone ever know? There's always that kid in your high school or whatever who wasn't British but liked like Monty Python and would say like British slang. They'd be like bloody this.
Yes.
Or bollocks. It's just like,
I knew that person.
Obnoxious. Yeah.
I knew that person. That person ate lunch by me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was in a play with that person. So I wasn't cool either.
Were you cool, Scott?
Yes.
You were in her first move.
It's called Her Best Move.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, if you want to look up the movie, that's what you have to search.
See, an almost unrecognizable Scott.
Yes, a very young, very nerdily dressed me in several scenes, actually.
Is that the Dylan Sabara movie?
I have no idea.
Is that the kid from the Spy Kids?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is. He was there. He was.
Couple $1,000. Opium blood covered. All right. Back in here. We really did like this movie. I'm sorry if this episode seems more disjointed. We really like this movie.
I don't think it feels disjointed. Are you talking to the audience?
I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, I guess it's weird when you're looking at me.
Yeah, well, I have to look at something. Ed and Shaun stumble down to the floor and prepare for the final confrontation. Selena tries to reason with them, but has no idea they just drank an entire bottle of whiskey. Selena points a gun straight at Shaun's face and asks him why she shouldn't just end him right there. In response, he starts singing the safety dance in its entirety. She repeatedly asks him to stop, but then Ed joins in. This dual singing of the safety dance confuses and infuriates Selena, and she fires the pistol twice in the air. She demands the two shut the hell up. Shaun immediately starts the second verse of the safety dance again, and Ed joins in. Selena fires a round straight at Shaun's head, but he dodges it with some sort of drunken spidey sense. Enraged, she motions over a gang of goons to clobber the two, but they are no match for these inebriated bosom chums, and they manage to take them out with relative ease. Enraged and out of options, Selena pulls a detonator out from underneath her blouse. Shaun and Ed spend a moment staring at her exposed midriff, well, because they're very, very drunk and have forgone all social niceties. Especially since, she's repeatedly tried to kill them both. Selena raises the detonator to the sky. She says the warehouse is wired to blow, and she'll do it without any hesitation. Ed and Shaun look into each other's eyes. This could be it. Fade to black. Morning. Shaun is hungover. Shaun is fucking hungover. Shaun is somehow even more hungover than the night before. After he somehow manages to get downstairs, he's surprised to see that Ed isn't anywhere. He pops into the kitchen for an Irish coffee in hopes of somehow slaying the beast. Ed walks into the kitchen and wishes him a good morning. Selena walks in and does the same. Selena kisses Ed on the cheek and exits the flat. Shaun asks him, "Who's that?" Ed has no idea. He is also very, very hungover. Shaun pours Ed his own Irish coffee and the two sit down to play more House of the Dead. Camera pulls out to the backyard to reveal a disarmed bomb, a pile of katanas, and a moderately sized, albeit blood-soaked pile of opium. The end.
Yay!
It's a good romp. Good fun time.
Good old time. Shaun and Ed without the zombies. Just you could see why Liz is just so fed up when it rolls around time for the original film. Well done, Peter. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea in that Pineapple Expressway where they just stumble upon crime.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's crime afoot.
Yeah.
And you know, Shaun's an alcoholic.
I mean, they're both
alcoholics.
They drank an entire bottle of whiskey in like a minute.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah, bad news.
Yeah, that's bad.
Bad news. Well done. I'm glad Martin Scorsese signed on for this. He might be our most time director. Next to Milton Bradley.
Also McG.
McG and Milton Bradley have popped up
I think
twice.
there's two McGs. Yeah, I think there's two. Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoogligans. What did I say?
Hooglins.
Hooglins.
Yeah, what are the stats?
Yeah.
Give us the meat.
Yeah, come on.
The real meat.
Come on, as industry
scoop?
people, we want to know the stats.
Yeah, welcome to TMZ. We're over here fucking talking about the sleaziest Hollywood news. I'm fucking 6 pints fucking deep. I'm gonna have this guy over here basically supplement me and my glassy fucking drunk guy's ass.
We got Chris Pratt on with
Rotten Tomato score. Critics 24%. Honestly, a story that seemed to be designed as wholly unnecessary felt wholly unnecessary. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone. Audience 65%. The most realistic portrayal of drinking I've ever seen. Miller Lite, USA. Budget $35 million. Expected gross profit $80 million. Actual gross profit $45 million. Trivia. Edgar Wright asked to have no part in this film. Simon Pegg and Ed Wood, oh my god. Simon Pegg and
Ed Wood
and Nick Frost spent 8 weeks blackout drunk in order to prepare for their roles. The crimes they committed will be the subject of another feature film.
A documentary.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. Good job, Peter.
Well, yes, a good job for me.
Well, if you guys are out there listening to the show, you know what time it is now. We did the prequel. We're going to run right into that sequel.
All right.
And before we move to that, I just want to say, doing a prequel to the movie where it goes down in that movie isn't easy.
Yeah, I literally was like, I'm just going to have cool stuff happen and have them not remember it.
Great.
Yeah, so it's not addressed in the second one.
You could put him in fucking Waterworld now they've accepted it. So.
World doesn't need another Waterworld.
Yeah,
There's always already been one. I don't see why you need what the point would be to have another one.
I gotta have Shaun give birth to an active volcano.
It's mega crossover right there.
Mega crossover.
Mega, yeah.
I mean, but then you get
Origins.
Episode 3 Volcano.
Let's just say
but a goodie.
I'm thinking about Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and there's a little crossover there. Who raised Lava Girl?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
wow.
moving right along,
Now
we're on to sequel, which
is not by no, it's not by
no,
me.
it's not.
It's not by me.
Desmond, do you know who it is?
I don't know. No one walks faster than I can. I'm the best. I fucked that up.
So it's Desmond.
It's Desmond.
Yeah.
All right.
So
what have you got for us?
all right. Title From Dusk Till Shaun, which is one of the joke titles Edgar Wright and I think Simon Pegg had come up. It was either that or Night of the Living Ed if they were to do a sequel. So I just fucking took it because that's great.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Don't mess with success.
Tagline, this Valentine's Day, aim for the heart. Director, Edgar Wright. Following the events of the first film, Shaun, Simon Pegg, and his girlfriend Liz, Kate Ashfield, have reconciled and are living in their London flat, along with Shaun's zombified best friend, Ed, Nick Frost. Life has slowly resumed to normal after the zombie outbreak. Schools have reopened, people have returned to work. It's almost like nothing happened. Shaun goes back to his old electronics store job, albeit all of his coworkers are dead, but with a new sense of purpose and responsibility. He makes the best out of it while Liz seeks new employment. Her employers were also devoured by zombies. Liz one day stumbles upon a marketing job offer at a company with an extremely blood-related name, something like Vessel, Vaneco, Blood Cell and Sons. I don't know.
Just do Vaneco.
But Vessel is spelled Vessyl.
Yeah, no, got to do the Silicon Valley way.
Yeah.
And Vane is just like VYN somehow.
Wow, yeah. Show me those veins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting the qualifications, she applies and gets an interview. Liz is interviewed by an eccentric company owner, again, with a name so on the nose, like Vladimir, Caspian, Aether. There's no way this fucking guy isn't a vampire. Played by Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know, you fill in the blanks.
No, he should be.
Yeah,
he should be
absolutely.
A vampire. He's got that giant forehead.
Wesley Snipes.
Why?
Blade is vampire.
I'd go Idris just for the British factor of this whole thing.
Oh, that's true.
But it could be.
Come on.
It could be Idris.
Yeah.
Idris would be a badass vampire.
Both are great.
Well, he'd be a badass most.
One of them's completely wasted in the MCU, so you decide. He acts characteristically sexual, as a vampire would, but not overtly creepy. Liz destroys the interview and is hired on the spot. Liz informs Shaun on the amazing news, and he is delighted and supportive. They decide to go out and celebrate. Liz sweetly suggests they bring Ed. The three go out to the now rebuilt Winchester to eat and drink. No one bats an eye at the chained-up zombie Ed. It's normal, I guess, at this point. Liz tells Shaun about the new job, and he jokes that they sound like vampires. She invites Shaun to a work event the following weekend to meet her employers and mingle with the other staff. Time comes for the mixer, and Shaun is in shock at how right he was about the fucking vampire thing. Liz assures him it's just their style, but Shaun accidentally stumbles upon a vampire feeding orgy while trying to find a bathroom. In shock, he finds Liz, and the two leave immediately. Liz's boss sends the company vice president, played by Tom Hiddleston, or someone else British and vampire-like.
No, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. You'd be a great vampire.
They send Tom Hiddleston after Liz and Shaun to kill them accordingly. Shaun and Liz barricade themselves in their flat and look up every vampire repellent technique in the book. Tom Hiddleston vampire breaks into the backyard shed, mistaking zombie Ed for Shaun. He's grown slim from lack of human flesh. Tom Hiddleston vampire goes to suck Ed's blood, guzzling down what little he can muster. Being that the blood left in Ed is tainted, it effectively kills Tom Hiddleston vampire, who bursts into flames and screams. Ed then awakens anew, albeit in vampire form. He breaks into the flat, startles Shaun and Liz. Shaun then enthusiastically greets his once again sentient friend and advises he definitely take a shower, like immediately.
Yeah.
After the necessary bathing, Ed, Shaun, and Liz converse over beer. Ed shares what it's like to die, much to the couple's horror, and be a zombie. He thanks Shaun and Liz for keeping him around as long as they did. With no time to lose, the three devise a plan to hunt down Liz's employer and destroy them. I imagine it's a pod of fucking vampires.
No, good.
Before they can take over London, because plan.
Yeah.
During this time, the issue of Ed's nourishment comes to play. Insert a very hilarious scene of Shaun coaxing an innocent person to come home with them for Ed's feeding. Hilarity ensues. They don't go through with it, being that would make them no better than Liz's employers. This culminates in Shaun and Ed raiding a blood bank. Ed soars through the clouds with Shaun in an awesome display of his zombie powers. He offers to turn Liz and Shaun into vampires, but Shaun declines. Liz discovers the location of the blood rave happening. A blood rave happening. The blood rave.
This is the one.
Bring a Pepsi can, kids get and have off.
Did anyone ever do that?
No, I never
raves?
No, bring a
Pepsi can to a theme park.
Oh yeah, the Coke can or whatever. Yeah, I did that one time.
Did they honor that? Like, was it?
Yeah, you didn't knock off much.
Fucking.
You're saying it's still ludicrously expensive, but
it's like $3 or something.
they gotta make them rides run.
Yeah.
Price of admission.
Yeah.
Liz discovers the location of a blood rave happening. Yeah, think Blade. That her employer will be in attendance to. They send Ed to the shindig to kill the boss, but Ed ends up having a pretty good time, enjoying some blood and dancing. This prompts Shaun to enter, where he gets lucky and intercepts the boss in the restroom. It is there he tries to stake him. The boss looks at Shaun unaffected, then rips a window curtain to reveal a full moon. He bats Shaun away, and he flies across the room. The boss squirms in pain and slowly transforms into his true werewolf self. The werewolf chases after Shaun.
That's awesome.
Tearing every vampire in his way to bits. Shaun is backed into a corner by the werewolf when Liz comes behind him with a Winchester repeater and fires a warning shot.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
The werewolf shortly thereafter goes back to his business and mauls Shaun to death.
What?
Liz loads her silver bullet and kills the werewolf. She cries over Shaun's mutilated corpse until Ed comes and bites Shaun's neck. With enough time left, he transforms Shaun into a vampire. Shaun awakens and the three head home. 3 months later, we see everyone doing well. Ed is moving out to get his own place, Liz is a frequent blood donor, and Shaun is happy to have his best friend back. The two friends turn into bats and fly off into the night to goof off. Liz watches them happily, then turns around. The yellow thriller eyes fade in over hers. We hear Vincent Price laughing. The end. And
Woo!
yeah.
Good job, Des.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that the second time you've used the yellow thriller eye?
Fucking thriller ending.
Yeah, you definitely did it once before, at least.
Because I don't know how to end the thing. So it ended like thriller.
For sure, because I was like, got to find the perfect thriller music to throw in there.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, but
It was badass. And just the only thing that was missing needs a Frankenstein and a mummy.
I was actually definitely thinking, but I don't know. I didn't know where I'd put like a sarcophagus in there. And Frankenstein's fucking dumb. No one's favorite's Frankenstein.
yeah, nobody. Yeah.
But you could for the threequel. You could definitely do that. But I thought that was cool.
Frank and Shaun, Colin.
And I like it. Another extreme ending. Shaun's a vampire now.
Yeah.
Yeah, congruent with Ed being a zombie at the end. And you had to get Ed back into play. I was stoked off that. Rotten Tomatoes score, 85% critics.
Oh, nice.
It was well received. It was funny. Edgar Wright, give it his all. There you go.
Yeah.
47% audiences.
Oh.
Ugh, a fun concept and a gory good time. But do these comedy sequels ever really thrill? Also, everyone's arc was kind of over in the first one. That's just me talking. Budget, $75 million. Expected gross profit, $150 million. These numbers are arbitrary. I don't know what any of this means. But actual gross profit, $200 million.
Nice.
It's a sequel to one of the most popular horror comedies ever, and the Six Flags Discovery Kingdom Shaun of the Dead Water Spooktacular is a fantastic tie-in for the kids to get excited over an R-rated property. And that's it.
This was well thought out.
Yeah.
As a promotional strategy. Absolutely well thought out.
All right, yeah, well done, Des. Well done.
Thank you.
A cord in my hand so I can clap.
We love it. We love it.
All right, so
Going down LA.
we love it. Yeah. So
You should see fucking Andy Kaufman introduce that music video. Whoa, we have a good one for you, folks. And
we love it. Well, you guys, so if you're listening out there, you know what happens in this show. We rough and tumble, a little bit loose around the lips. And,
is this the part where we talk about politics?
No.
At length?
never.
No, we're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. But what comes next? We do the prequel.
Right.
We do the sequel.
Right.
The name would suggest, now I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that it is, but the name would suggest that we do remake after that. And I just want you guys to weigh in on that, sort of, talk politics and, weigh in on that. And,
So what about your political satire?
Yeah. So the remake would seem to be the next logical step.
Right, and the remake this week is by our Desmond Ports. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Desmond.
Okay. All right, Desmond.
All right.
Sure hope you wrote it. 'Cause,
Con Air of the Dead.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
I want to see where this is going.
I've said too much.
All right, well,
copyright Peter Scott and Desmond, Connor of the Dead. Thank you very much. Copyright Peter Scott and Desmond.
This was, we go up to this door and talking about ring the bell and it's trick or treat. Well, I was a little trick, and we're gonna trick you good. Thought it was gonna be Desmond again.
Go to hell, Scott.
It's not. It's a treat.
Here comes Halloween. Here comes Halloween. Right
Down Halloween way.
Halloween.
That bit fell apart so quickly.
It was good. And our resident Scott Handshoe is coming in with remake territory. I feel like it's been a while since you've done a remake, so I'm excited.
It probably has. I've been, dodging the responsibility for a little while. So
remake's fun. You'll like it.
You know what? I did. I had a lot of fun with this one, and it was a chance to do something a little different.
Ooh.
We love it.
Just a little different.
God.
There's going to be a lot of similar notes. All right. Shaun of the Dead and the Electric Astro Spooktacular Bomberman 5000 UFO Rama Drama.
What?
Tagline 1. Shaun is fucking dead. Tagline 2. Who is this irresistible creature with an insatiable love for the dead? Directed by Rob Zombie.
Oh,
Sherry Moon better be in there.
She better.
Well, she kind of has to be. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sherry Moon, call me.
No, call me first. But no, don't call any of us.
Don't call any of us.
We love our girlfriends.
Yes.
We're going to leave it at that.
Make a call with Sherry Moon Zombie. There's nothing wrong with
She's not going to call. She's not going to call.
She'll call now.
Shut up, Desmond, if I ever heard one. Let's get going.
Oh, yeah.
That's Scott.
As dawn breaks over the Texas mountains, an RV is parked alongside a densely forested section of road. After snapping a picture of the sunrise, Ving Rhames, as played by an unknown actor, no relation, lowers his camera.
Damn, that's beautiful.
His wife, Jennifer Lawrence, played by an unknown actor, no relation, blanket snugged around her shoulders and sipping a cup of tea, sidles up to Ving.
It sure is.
She says. Ving then looks intensely at her.
I love you, Jennifer Lawrence.
They exchange a tasteful kiss and return to watching the sunrise. But the good times are not to last for long. A young woman stumbles out of the Texas woodlands, disoriented and dirty. Ving and Jennifer attempt to console and hydrate her, but she's just too out of it. Slinking up from behind is a very dirty white man with long, straggly hair, Otis, and a massive, creepy, clown-shaped clown, Captain Spaulding.
Oh, nice.
Otis draws a weapon and fires it into the air.
I hate to put a damper on this fucking spectacular morning y'all are having, but we're gonna be needing this recreational vehicle you got here. Nice job, baby.
The disoriented woman, now dropping the act, is revealed to be Baby, Otis's girlfriend, and Captain Spaulding's daughter, as played by Sherry Moon Zombie,
Hey.
who giggles and says,
I fooled you two real good.
and draws her own weapon on the happy couple. After a good deal of yelling, weapon pointing, threatening, and inappropriately sexual behavior, the trio, collectively known as the Devil's Rejects, steal the RV and hold the family hostage. Also inside the RV were a couple of kids and a weird uncle sleeping, but they're very awake now.
Oh, yes.
Otis and Baby are yelling at each other about their operation, which currently details gathering the corpse of their mother who was recently killed in police custody.
I told you to go left, you fucking idiot. Fuck you. It's a fucking cemetery. It's not like there's gonna be a fucking billboard for it. You never fucking listen.
After a bit more shouting, when Otis pulls over to look at the map, Baby storms out and grabs the dirt bike off the back of the RV.
You fucking figure it out then, Otis, because I'm over this shit.
Baby burns rubber and peels out, middle fingering her way down the road. The RV is awkwardly silent for a while as it trundles along the highway.
We're fucking here.
Otis mumbles as he takes the exit towards the cemetery, crashing right through the front gate at full speed. Cut to Ving and the weird uncle digging up a grave at the gunpoint of Captain Spaulding.
So, you guys like clowns?
They don't respond, and soon after, they hit shovel to casket. With some difficulty, they pry back the lid and reveal Mom Firefly, only partially decomposed. Spaulding calls Otis out of the RV, who keeps Jennifer at gunpoint.
Oh, hi, Mama. Good to see you again. All right, boys, hand her up. Fuck no, man. I ain't grabbing onto no dead body.
Captain Spaulding leans down real close to Ving.
What if I said, pretty please, with fucking sugar on top?
Ving and the weird uncle look at each other and then hoist Mom out of the grave. Otis then speaks.
Great work, boys. Thanks for digging up that grave for us. Oh, one more thing.
Otis and Captain Spaulding then unleash a volley of slow-motion gunfire on Ving and the weird uncle, who collapse into the grave, dead. Jennifer screams.
Shut the hell up. Now grab that shovel and bury your dead husband and brother. And stop fucking crying.
Shaking and near inconsolable, Jennifer collapses to the ground. Captain Spaulding sighs.
Ah, hell. Let's just fucking go already.
And picks her up. Further down the road, Captain Spaulding is trying to give Otis relationship advice.
You just have to learn how to listen to her, that's all, man. Yeah, well, maybe I would if she wouldn't act like such a bitch. Don't you fucking talk about my daughter that way. She's my baby, too. Oh, yeah, I keep fucking forgetting that. Whatever, maybe you're right. Of course I'm right, I'm a fucking clown. And you know what? You're gonna need her for the ritual, so you better turn this fucking RV around and go get her ass back. I bet you anything she's with her no-good ex. Ah, that fucking vegan prick? Fuck!
Otis nearly tips the RV, flipping a U-turn at speed, and floors it. Cut to Baby sipping tea in a quality hammock on the back porch of a very nice woodsy home. Clad in a nice sweater, Robert sticks his head out of the sliding glass door.
Hey, I was just gonna heat up some of this vegan lasagna. You want some? It's really delicious. No, I'm not hungry.
Robert exits out onto the porch and sits next to Baby, putting his hand on her leg.
Look, you don't have to go into it, but if you want to talk, I'm here for you. But also, if you want to talk about other aspects of your life other than your hetero relationship to a man, we can talk about that as well. Sometimes I just really want to focus on my painting, but then I worry I'm going to miss torturing and murdering. Baby, you should do what makes you happy, even if it's irrelevant to the plot.
Then Otis walks up onto the porch.
Well, right back into his arms. Fuck off, Otis, you don't own me. Excuse fucking me, but before you stormed out, did you remember what we were in the middle of doing? The ritual? I've been out all over town pulling this shit together while you're kicking back drinking fucking English breakfast. It's actually yerba mate. Fuck you, Robert!
After a lot of yelling and hassle, Baby agrees to return for the ritual, and Robert is hustled onto the RV as well. After driving around for a while, they park in front of a Spirit Halloween store and decide this is the best place for the ritual.
Are Otis and Spaulding played by Sid Haig and Bill Moseley? Is the same dude?
Yeah,
hell yeah. They're making another one right now, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and write this anyway because
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't.
Fucking see that movie when it comes.
Yeah,
out. I love those.
Yeah. The crowds inside the store are unfazed by the devil's rejects dragging hostages through the store because they think it's part of the display. They goof around and take turns putting on the various prohibitively expensive and frankly difficult to wear masks and spooking each other real bad. Just good fun scares, posing for pictures and such. Captain Spaulding loses track of the kids in the costume section and terrorizes patrons of the nearby ball pit crashing around looking for them. Otis and Baby get down to business in the conveniently set up and thoroughly witchy witch animatronic display area, complete with all sorts of weird insignias and the ground and black lights and... Anyway, they lay down Mom's body and tie down Jennifer next to her. Then, they candles or something and say a bunch of weird stuff and sacrifice Jennifer to bring Mom back to life. Mom's eyes peel back open to reveal very cloudy, dead eyes. Robert looks upset by what he's just witnessed.
If it's cool with you, baby, I might just leave.
Suddenly, Mom bolts upright and bites onto Rob's neck, blood spraying everywhere. He screams a very gravelly scream.
Mom, wait, stop!
Zombie Mom whips around to Otis, growls, and lunges towards him. Otis struggles to keep the zombie Mom from biting him. A small crowd is gathered and they're watching the act take place, mostly for Snapchat.
Right.
Captain Spaulding returns and pushes Mom off of Otis, firing his sawed-off shotgun at her, but she darts into the crowd. Screams are heard. Suddenly, Robert sits up straight and bites Otis on the arm.
Ah! Now Rob's a zombie! Hey, I just got that!
Origins.
Baby then kicks Rob Zombie off of Otis, who then latches onto a nearby child in a Luigi costume, because apparently it is just that easy. Zombies, both real and costumed, begin to pour out of the Spirit Halloween store. The Devil's Rejects realize the situation is getting out of hand, and they attempt to flee, only to be met by a full squadron of police when they reach the front door. Apparently, crashing around the state and committing murders is the way to get police on your case. In a very long montage set to Send Me On My Way, played in its entirety, Otis, Baby, and Captain Spaulding shoot at the cops, who unload a literal fuck ton of bullets back at them. Movie ends on a strange, ambiguous still frame. Critic score! That's it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Wow. You set to be the tone of something, and you achieved it very, very well. If you haven't seen The Devil's Rejects, see it. It's great.
Don't need to have seen Shaun of the Dead to
No.
fucking get that.
Shaun is dead.
But you might need to see Devil's Rejects.
You might have to.
That's fine.
Which is better than The House of a Thousand Corpses, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
What?
after having gone back to House of a Thousand Corpses, I actually didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was the first time around.
Okay.
I thought it was actually pretty good. And there's actually some legitimately cool parts of the movie.
Yeah, there's some really funny parts, too.
A lot of Rob Zombie's movies, by the way, I've been listening to Rob Zombie since I was a wee lass.
Yeah.
So,
Dragula.
It holds a certain place in time. It's not like I'm just, the diehard fan or anything, but it just always reminds me of this time of year with the just the spooks and the fun scares.
I don't even like all of his movies, but I kind of like him and his whole thing. It's like what he's into.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, there's this like childish quality. It's like you're just like playing with your toys, like making these, just making the things you want to make. I don't know. I kind of like
Yeah, I kind of like
like
him too. I think Devil's Rejects is a really good movie.
I like the Halloween remake too.
Not always received so well. So let's see.
Yeah.
Critic score, 33%.
More violent shock rock trash from Rob Zombie. Not sure what, if anything, has to do with the original beloved film. Suffers from a complete lack of John Leguizamo. Still, made for good J-off material at times.
Squidler Dixon, Phantom of the Opera.
Fuck me.
Audience score, 60%.
Fucking love Zombie, man. Been a fan since 1965. Yeah. Woo!
User Hellbilly69, AOL Instant Messenger. Budget, $5 million. Got a sweetheart of a deal partnering up with the Spirit Halloween store. Tons of free, standard quality Halloween makeup. Expected profit, DVD sales. Actual profit, DVD sales. Trivia. Be the first to write trivia for this film. And that is fucking it.
Ah, man.
Great job, Scott. Hilarious I definitely have had nightmares about Captain Spaulding.
That dude's fucking terrifying.
Sid Haig is a creepy, creepy dude.
Sid Haig never thought he'd have a career past like exploitation films in like the late 70s and early 80s, and then got this like resurgence with that. And
now he's in exploitation films in the 2000.
Yeah, then he's back doing the same thing. So,
Yeah.
but he had a role.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Unique to him. But
Yeah.
well, I think that was another successful episode.
Yeah, I think it went pretty smoothly, aside from all the things that, didn't.
It's kind of a backhanded review, man.
Well, maybe it was a backhanded episode, Peter. Did you consider that?
I mean, honestly, no. Not really.
Hey, Scott, little question, buddy.
Shoot.
What's with the portal that's manifested behind you?
Oh, this? This is the Portal Maxima. Yeah, that's a really good starter portal. There's a whole dog and pony show at the dealership where they, throw all these features around and add-ons at you, but you just really got to harp on your safety rating and good gas mileage and I mean, that's really all you need in a good, solid starter portal.
Yeah, sure, that's all fine, Scott. But why is that portal even there?
I mean, to be frank, once you have a nice starter portal, you just sort of take it everywhere, you know? It's like a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Scott, you think you should turn that portal down, maybe?
Look, Peter, I appreciate your concern, but I did some pretty extensive research before activating this portal. So, I am a responsible portal owner. I've never portaled drunk, or even portaled buzzed, okay? You know, because buzz portaling is drunk portal.
Sure, Scott, but I mean...
Fuck, man! What's with all this smoke?
This is seriously gonna fuck with the microphones.
Greetings, us of the past!
Wow.
We come to warn you of a premonition! A premonition!
A premonition!
Premonition!
Hey, so are you guys us?
I am not you.
But I am you in the future!
Oh my god, it's Future Scott and Future Peter!
Wait, where's future Desmond?
Hey, yeah, where's Future Desmond?
You are dead.
What?
Yes, in the multitudes of boundless timelines, you are always dead at this point in time.
Well, how did I die?
It is better that you do not ask.
It is on the toilet.
Ah, jeez.
Yes, it is always on the toilet, but it is in a variety of different ways.
Well, I guess I'm just not using the fucking toilet anymore.
Desmond, you have to use the toilet.
Nah, man, I'm only fucking with buckets from now on. And bowls. Hella fucking bowls.
I don't know if that's gonna work, Des.
Actually, that might work.
Yes, go with that plan.
Fuck yeah, hella dump buckets.
But that is not why we are here.
Yes, the premonition.
The premonition.
Premonition. Guys, I know you're from the future, so I don't really want to split hairs here, but since you are, us from the future, shouldn't you already know what the premonition is?
That is not how premonitions work.
Not at all. Hey, look over there.
Yes, over there. Look.
Beware past us. The premonition is coming.
Yes, beware the premonition.
Premonition.
Beware.
Premonition.
You guys kind of skimped on all the details?
Yeah, why are we bewaring a premonition? Shouldn't the premonition be telling us about the thing we should be bewaring?
Guys, I think we're missing the big picture here is that I got a fantastic deal on this portal.